So we'll discuss about the cytoskeleton. What is cytoskeleton? So it is an intracellular network. So we call the cytoskeleton as intracellular network, which is made up of the protein filaments. It is an intracellular network which is made up of protein filaments, and present in cytoplasm. It is present in the cytoplasm. Cytoskeleton will give a proper rigidity and a flexibility to the shape of the cell as well as to the movement of the cell. If the shape has to be maintained properly, if there should be a rigidity in the cell, there is an background network. Cell alli ಒಂದು background network ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೆಲೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ cytoskeleton, and that cytoskeleton will give a proper shape and rigidity to the cell. So cytoplasm move ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. But move ಆದ್ರೆ actually if the cytoplasm is moving, then the cell shape should change, but there is no change in the cell shape. Why the cell shape is permanent? Why there is a rigidity in the cell shape? That is because of this network called as the cytoskeleton. So it gives the shape and rigidity to cell. It gives the shape and rigidity to the cell. And now if a cell has to move, then there should be a flexible movement. So movement of the cell means it is not a change of one place to another place. Movement of the cell is the cytoplasmic streaming. Okay. Inside the cell, we have cytoplasm which streams from one place to another place continuously. Cytoplasm is not a stagnant component. ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮು ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಗೆ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್, ಆಲ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬಿ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್. Okay, so now this is called as the movement of the cell, and for this movement of the cell there is a framework which is required which can hold the nucleus and other organelles in the position. Okay, which can hold the nucleus and other organelles in proper position so that the cytoplasm can be streaming easily without any changes in the cell. So that flexibility of the movement is also achieved by the presence of the cytoskeleton. Okay, so flexibility in movement. Flexibility in the movement of the cell. Now, what is this cytoskeleton made up of? So, I have written here as the protein filaments. Cytoskeleton, it is made up of the protein filaments. Now, we get to see three types of protein filaments or three types of protein components which are involved in the cytoskeleton. So, cytoskeleton is made up of cytoskeleton is made up of three components. The three components are microtubules, microfilaments and intermediate filaments. The three components of the cytoskeleton are microtubules, microfilaments and the intermediate filaments. So the first one is the microtubule. So these microtubules, these are the hollow cylindrical structures. So microtubules are the hollow cylindrical structures with a diameter of around 25 nanometers. So hollow cylindrical structures, with diameter of 25 nanometers, with a diameter of 25 nanometers, and these microtubules are made up of a protein called as a tubulin. Okay, ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ 3 ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್. ಆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೈಕ್ರೋಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯುಲಿನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯುಲಿನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಹಾಲೋ ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಹಾಲೋ ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನ ನಾವು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಹಾಲೋ ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನ ನಾವು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯುಲಿನ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯುಲಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತರ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯುಲಿನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 2 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯುಲಿನ್ಸ್. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯುಲಿನ್ and another one is beta tubulin. Alpha tubulin and a beta tubulin. So let us imagine this is an alpha tubulin protein, and this is a beta tubulin protein. So can you see that color? Yes, alpha tubulin and the beta tubulin. Now this alpha and beta together will form a tubulin dimer always. This is a tubulin dimer. This is a tubulin dimer. So these tubulin dimers will form a microtubule. We will see how a microtubule is being formed properly. Okay, so alpha tubulin and the beta tubulin together will form a tubulin dimer, and that tubulin dimer will form a microtubule. And now since there are 2 ends now, we have one alpha end, we have one beta end, right? One alpha end, one beta end ಇದೆ. So 2 end ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಓಕೆ, 2 end ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So I'll explain in the structure ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. Okay, so how exactly a microtubule is being formed? So let us imagine, we'll first start with the alpha tubulins. So alpha tubulins ಹೆಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, okay, so now there are 13 alpha tubulins here. ಒಂದು ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there will be 13 alpha tubulins. So always remember, sorry, every ring has 13 tubulins, whether it is alpha or it is beta. Compulsory, every ring has 13 tubulin proteins. So now here I have written the alpha ring. So alpha ring, there are 13 alpha tubulins present here. Okay, now just below the alpha tubulin, there will be a beta tubulin to form a dimer. It should form a dimer. Only if it forms a dimer, only then it can form a microtubule. If the dimer is not formed, the microtubule cannot be formed. So just below this, idr kelagade, exact idr kelagade ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So one ring of the beta tubulin will be formed. So now this becomes a dimer. Every dimer you can see here. These are all the dimers. Okay. ಇದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಒಂದೊಂದು dimer ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Just below the beta, again there is one more ring of the alpha. Again below this, one more ring of the beta. Again below this, one ring of alpha. Alpha, and then below this, beta, and then again alpha, and again beta. So this goes on. So finally it ends like this. It ends like this. So here we have this is a beta dimer, again one alpha dimer, again one beta dimer, alpha dimer. So finally here we have started it with the alpha dimer. It should definitely end with the beta dimer. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈಮರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಡೈಮರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬೀಟಾ ಬಂದ್ರೇನೆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೈಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ಬೀಟಾ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್. ಬೀಟಾ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ okay, so now here between this is an hollow structure. Okay, this is a hollow structure which is been surrounding like a cylindrical form. In a cylindrical form ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯೂಬುಲಿನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಸರೌಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ it is an hollow structure. So it is an hollow cylindrical structure with a diameter of the 25 nanometers. Now this is one single ring, right? This is one ring here which has been formed. However, every ring has got 13 tubulin proteins. 13 alpha tubulins, 13 beta tubulins. 13 alpha tubulins, 13 beta tubulins. Whatever it is, every ring has got 13 tubulin proteins. Now, these tubulin proteins, when you see them vertically, okay, when you see them longitudinally or vertically, here they form one section like this, right? One section or one filament. They form one filament, and every filament has alternate alpha, beta, alpha, beta, alpha, beta tubulin proteins. So every such filaments are called as protofilaments. Every such filaments are called as the protofilaments. So remember, this is really important. I don't know whether the color is visible or no. Okay, it is a protofilament. So these protofilaments, they'll be placed one after the other just by a cross section in an angular way, which makes an cylindrical structures. One protofilament, another protofilament. Likewise, 13 protofilaments will be there, right? Because in a ring there are 13 tubulins. ಒಂದು ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 13 ಟ್ಯೂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹಿಂಗನು ಕೂಡ 13 ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, 13 ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ನಮಗೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ 13 protein filaments or 13 protofilaments together will make one microtubule. Okay, will make one microtubule. And here every dimer has an GTP. Every dimer has an GTP, and this GTP is been hydrolyzed at the beta end. ಸೊ ಬೀಟಾ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, we call this alpha end as minus end. This is a minus end, whereas this beta end is a plus end. Beta end is a plus end. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಲೋ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಡ್. It is an slow growing end, whereas we call this as a plus end because it is an fast growing end. This is an fast growing end. So when the dimers has to attach to one after each other, so this is one dimer, the next dimer has to come and attach, right? So next dimer is bandu attach agbeku antandre there is one GTP present here. So there will be one GTP present here. This GTP gets hydrolyzed. The GTP gets hydrolyzed and then the next dimer will come and attach like this. They don't come and attach in a singular form. Onde alpha athwa bari like beta bandu attach agala. Okay? They always come and attach in the form of a dimer. Dimer ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿನೇ ಬಂದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದ್ ಸರ್ತಿ ಬಂದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಒಂದ್ ಸರ್ತಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಒಂದ್ ಸರ್ತಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದ್ ಸರ್ತಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಡೈಮರ್ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದೇ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಡೈಮರ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಡೈಮರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ದ GTP. Okay, they carry the GTP and that GTP when the next dimer is getting attached at the beta end, okay, at the beta end the GTP gets hydrolyzed. The GTP gets hydrolyzed and the alpha end will go and bind to the beta end. They go and bind to the beta end. So this is how a protofilament has been formed, and such 13 protofilaments together will make one single microtubule. Okay, so elli sigutte, elli most of the times elli kaanutte namge microtubules antandre, we see these microtubules in the flagella, cilia, okay, flagellas, cilias, and we also get to see them in the centrioles, right, as well as in the cytoplasm, okay, in the cytosol. Now we have seen this as one single microtubule, right? This is a single microtubule. One kolve tara idu one single microtubule. Usually microtubules cytoplasm alli single ine present irutte. Single microtubules. Okay? Ondond kolve 13 protofilaments do ಒಂದು tubule singly present irutte. But sometimes we also see doublets and triplets. We also see the doublets and the triplets. You have written this? You have noted this? Huh? Okay. See, doublets and triplets heng form agutte andre, so I'm not writing a dimer here. I'll just write single tubulin protein just baritini. So let us imagine we have 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay? So this is one ring. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್. ಕೆಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಫುಲ್ ಬರಿತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. I'm not writing the full structure here. I'm just writing a ring structure. Okay? So let us now give the names of, just we'll number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is a singlet. Okay, this is a single microtubule which is extending up to the top. Sometimes in the long shafts of the flagella and the cilia, long shafts antandre the tail structures, the beating structures of the cilia and flagella. So we call them as shafts. So long shafts of the cilia and flagella, they may contain doublets. ಡಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ So now here we have 13 tubulins, right? Here we have 13 tubulins, but the doublet, the second tubule, okay? This is the first tubule with the 13 tubulins, but the second tubule will have either 10 or 11 tubulins, okay? And it attaches to the 3 tubulins of the next tubulin. So here now it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You got it? So this becomes a doublet. This becomes a doublet. This is present in the long shafts of cilia and flagella. Now, sometimes we also see the triplets. Okay, we also see the triplets. So now let us write the triplets. So triplets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is a singlet. Okay. This is a singlet. Let us now name them. So we'll write it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Now attached to this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, one extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This became a doublet. Yes, this became a doublet. Now, the third one. Okay, the third tubule will again form the same structure like how the second tubule has been formed with the first tubule. Second tubule ಹೆಂಗೆ first tubule ಜೊತೆಗೆ shade structure form ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, form ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ತರ third ring ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, third tubule ಕೂಡ second tubule ಜೊತೆಗೆ shade structure ಅನ್ನೇ form ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so let us now write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this becomes a triplet. So this is a triplet. And triplets ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we get to see the triplets in the basal body of cilia and flagella. We see the triplets in the basal body of the cilia and the flagella. So clear with this? Okay. So this is about the microtubules. So the first component of the cytoskeleton, that is the microtubule, is made up of tubulin proteins. It is a hollow cylindrical structure. Tubulins are of two types, alpha tubulin, beta tubulin. Okay, alpha and beta together will form a dimer. They form a dimer, and when you see the structure, every single type of a tubulin is in a ring of 13. It is in a ring of a 13, and since it is a dimer, so one ring of the alpha tubulin, one ring of the beta tubulin. So together they'll be attached to one GTP at the beta end. Okay. If this has to attach to the next dimer, the GTP gets hydrolyzed and the next dimer will come and attach. Likewise, it starts forming the filaments. Now, since there are 13 tubulins, there will be 13 filaments also, and every single filament is called as a protofilament. Every single filament is called as a protofilament, and the alpha end is called as a minus end and the beta end is called as a plus end. This is called as a minus end because it is slow growing. There is no GTP hydrolyzation, hence it is slow growing. Here there is a GTP hydrolyzation, so it is a fast growing end. Okay, and since there are two ends here, since there is one minus end, one plus end, one slow growing end, one fast growing end, and only one like end grows abruptly, whereas another end is very slowly growing, or it may not grow also. Okay, this we call it as the dynamic instability. This is not a stable growth. One end is growing, other end is stagnant or very slowly growing. So we call it as an instability. This is called as dynamic instability. So usually in the cytoplasm, okay, in the cytoplasm, it will be in a single form. So the tubule will be single tubules. We get to see the single tubules. But when it comes to the cilia and flagella, we also get to see the doublets and the triplets. We also get to see the doublets and the triplets. So doublets, we get to see them in the long shafts of cilia and flagella. Triplets, we get to see them in the basal body of the cilia and the flagella. Clear? So this is about the microtubules. Note it down and then we'll go to the microfilaments. Okay. So the next component of the cytoskeleton is the first one was microtubule. The second one is now the microfilament. The microfilament. So as the name suggests, tubule means definitely a tube-like structure which is having a hollow at the center. Filament is not hollow. It is a straight structure, a flat structure which doesn't have the hollow at the center. The microfilament is also made up of, like we had tubulins in case of microtubules, okay. So now this microfilament is made up of actin. The microfilament is made up of the protein called as actin. Microtubules were made up of the protein called as tubulins. The microfilament is made up of the protein called as actin. This actin, we can see the actin in the two forms. Okay, actin, we can see it in the two forms. The first form is G-actin. G-actin, which is globular actin, which is a globular actin. So this globular actin is just a single actin molecule. The globular actin is just a single actin molecule which is attached to an ATP. Okay. Now this G-actin will undergo nucleation. Nucleation is joining of the G-actins. Okay. Nucleation is joining of the G-actins. Always remember, one single G-actin will combine with 3 G-actins. As a first step. In the first step, single G-actin will become a sequence of 3 G-actins. Now, this 3 G-actins will further grow to form a filament-like structure which is called as F-actin. actin, that is filament actin, F-actin and G-actin. Now, when the G-actin is getting converted as a F-actin, or when the G-actin is attaching to the next G-actin. So here we have 3 F-actin, 3 G-actins, right? Which is the first step of the formation of the F-actin. Alva? F-actin is filament actin, G-actin is globular actin. Globular actin ಅಂದ್ರೆ single. One single ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು globular protein ಅದು. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು G-actin ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ G-actin ಈ ತರ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಮೂರದ್ರದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಮೂರದ್ರದ್ದು ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ one G-actin has to combine with the next G-actin and this G-actin has to combine with the next G-actin. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ತರ G-actins ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ this ATP will be used up and ADP will be remaining. So in the G-actin there will always be an ATP, in the F-actin there will always be an ADP. If you take it as GTP, in the G-actin there is always an GTP, in the F-actin there is always an GDP. A used ATP or a used GTP. Clear? Huh? Now this we call it as a monomer also. This we call it as a monomer. And like in the tubule we had plus end and minus end. Here also there is one plus end, there is one minus end. Minus end is always a fast growing end. Fast growing end, and the plus end is always an slow growing end. Okay, and remember, since the fast growing end will be attaching to the more G-actins and the slow growing end is attaching to very less G-actins or no G-actins at all, you can again call the process as the dynamic instability. We can call the process as the dynamic instability. It is not a stability, it is an instability. Okay? Clear? Huh? So, microfilament, remember this is not an hollow structure. Microfilament is not a hollow structure. It is a long thread-like structure or a filament-like structure. And always these microfilaments will be a set of two which are twisted one upon each other. So like this. ಈ ತರ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಈ ತರ DNA ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಯಿಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, just like the structure of the DNA. Okay, just like the structure of the DNA, the two filaments of the G-actin, the two filaments of the G-actin or two F filaments antanu karibodu. Two F-actins or two filaments of G-actins will be coiled like this, like the structure of the DNA, without any hollow spaces in the between. Okay, clear? Clear with this? Huh? And there is also a GTP or ATP hydrolysis when one G-actin attaches to another G-actin, and one end will grow very fast and the another end will grow very slow, and hence we call it as the dynamic instability. Okay, remember the microtubules are made up of tubulin protein, microfilaments are made up of the actin proteins. Okay, now these microfilaments we can see them in two forms. Okay, we can see them in the two forms. So one form is in the form of bundles. One, you can see them in the form of the bundles. Another one is you can see them in the form of the filaments. One, you can see them in the form of bundles. If they are present in the form of the bundles, that is because of actin bundling proteins. Actin bundling proteins. So, ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಬಂಡಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಗುಚ್ಚಾದ ಒಂದು ಬಂಡಲ್, so very compactly packed filaments together will form one bundle of the microfilament. So to pack all these filaments in a compact bundle, we need actin bundling proteins. Okay, we need actin bundling proteins, and if it has to be present in the form of a filament, okay, if it has to be present in the form of filament, then we require a protein called as filament. We require a protein called as filament. The filament will allow the microfilament to stay as a network of filaments. Filaments, or you can also take it as a network. Okay, so when the network ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, that is possible only when the filament protein is there. If it is present in the form of a bundle, that is possible only when the actin bundling proteins are there. Okay, clear? This is about the microfilaments. Okay, note it down. So the third component of the cytoskeleton, that is the intermediate filament. Intermediate filament. So as the name suggests, intermediate, it's a mixture of two, right? So intermediate filament, it is one of the toughest filaments. We have three components in the cytoskeleton. Out of all these three, the toughest component is the intermediate filament. It means that the first thing is it is toughest. So the toughest in terms of the tensile strength. It has more tensile strength. What is tensile strength? Tensile strength. Tensile is breakage. Okay, tensile is breakage. So whenever there is the stretching of the cells, usually when there is stretching of the cells are more prone to the breakage. Cells stretch ಆದಾಗ, ನೀವು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಬಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಆದಾಗ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಟೋಸ್ಕೆಲ್ಟನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್. Intermediate filament, it has more tensile strength. Okay, then this is toughest. As it is more tough, it cannot be disassociated with any soaps or detergents. See, we have microtubules and microfilaments, right? Microtubules and microfilaments, they can be disassociated very easily. There is no much like strength required, or there is no much process required. So with the mild soaps or detergents, you can actually disassociate the microtubules and the microfilaments. But when it comes to the intermediate filaments, they cannot be disassociated. They cannot be disassociated with soaps and detergents, with the soaps and the detergents. And one peculiarity about this intermediate filament is they usually form a network below the plasma membrane. So just below the plasma membrane, they form a very thick network which will provide the tensile strength to the cells. Plasma membrane ಕೆಳಗಡೆಗೆನೆ ಓಕೆ ಒಂದು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಓಕೆ ಆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಆಗೋದು ಏನು ಲೇಯರ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ತಾನೇ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ಔಟರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಔಟರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಅಂತ ಆದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್? ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ಗೆನೆ ರಿಜಿಡಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಬಿಲೋ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ so that whenever there is a stretching of the cell, okay, whenever there is enlargement of the cell, in that case, so in the one of the last classes we had seen about the osmosis also, right? ಹೆಂಗೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಂದಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಎನ್ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಲ್ ಎನ್ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಆದಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್, ವಾಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್, ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆದಾಗ ಸೆಲ್ ಎನ್ಹಾನ್ಸ್ ಆದಾಗ, ಸೆಲ್ ಎನ್ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಆದಾಗ, ಸೈಜ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾದಾಗ ಸೆಲ್ದು ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಟಾಲರೇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಟಾಲರೇಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಟಾಲರೇಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. Okay, there's nothing much about the intermediate filaments. So very simple. It is one of the toughest components of the cytoskeleton. With the more tensile strength, it cannot be dissociated with the soaps and the detergents, and it forms a framework just below the plasma membrane. Okay, yes. So this completes the cytoskeleton.